101.5 FM here in the San Fernando Valley. Big shout out once again. This show is brought to you by Mrs. Diaz Tutoring. For more information on Mrs. Diaz Tutoring, feel free to go on their website, mrsdiaztutoring360.com, as well as their Instagram page, which is at Miss Diaz Tutoring 360. We really appreciate you, Angela Diaz, for your support and also for all the good work that you do with all of our youth and, just helping, inspiring to, do the best they can with their education. So thank you so much, Mrs. Diaz Tutoring. You. And with that said, we have right here, right now, one of the latest small business owners, y'all, in the city of San Fernando, owning Robeks San Fernando. We're talking about Sergio Washington is in the house. First of all, good morning, Sergio. How are you?
Good morning. I am tired. What a day we had yesterday, right?
Yes.
We had the Move Your Way LA festival earlier yesterday, and then last night the outdoor market.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, yeah. I live for those. I live for it.
It was like San Fernando in general was like a big hub there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And tell me how one of the things we like to do here is also just how is right here, right now, your mind, body, and spirit. You kind of alluded a little to it, but just in general, how are those three components for you?
I would sum it up by just saying grateful. Grateful for the position that I'm in right now, the city that I'm in. Never would I have thought that I'd be here doing this on the radio. All this is. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience. Yeah. It's an amazing journey.
Yeah, no, ever since, we met, and we didn't meet that long ago, right. But ever since we met, I've just always liked your energy, your aura, like the way you just kind of like operate, you're a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Just and I love that because there's, come on, no need to beat around the bush, but also, but not only that, but you're just like very, like I said, from the times I've interacted with you, you just I just feel like this kindness in you,
Yeah.
And also though like this passion as well, so it's like and like this like kind of laser focus. So I don't know if I'm accurate here or not, but that's kind of like how I've been like able to like when I've interacted with you, that's been my experience. And then when we went out to Robeks actually, and we were out there. It was really nice just to see, and I've been a couple of times now, but when we went out to just do some footage that we'll be releasing soon, just you talking about like, the purpose of why you decided on Robeks and all that, and just your journey so far, it's like, it's very inspiring too though, like, so, which we're going to get into here,
Right.
Yeah. But like, tell us a little bit about, first of all, like, so you've had experience prior to Robeks, in different, like, like the corporate world, if you will, and, for you though, did you imagine yourself, when you were working in that other world kind of sort of, to where you are now as a, business owner of a franchise called Robeks? Like, did you imagine that at some point? Like,
No, actually, that's been a thing in my life is I've never known what I wanted to be when I wanted to grow up. So as a kid, everyone says, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? My answer to that was always, I just want to be successful.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I just want to be successful.
Yeah.
That just means working hard and taking it one day at a time. History, experience, what you were talking about earlier was basically I went into, well, let me actually just back up. So I'm from Bakersfield, California.
All right, Bakersfield in the house.
Yeah, shout out to Bakersfield.
All right.
When I turned 18, I immediately left Bakersfield
oh, really?
to go find myself.
Yeah.
And I ended up in college in Denver, Colorado.
Wow, that's a little far from Bakersfield.
So it was the complete opposite of Bakersfield. Super cold. My freshman year there, they had like a snowstorm, like the worst snowstorm in about 32 years.
Oh, wow.
I went outside to play in the snow, and I immediately knew that snow is not for me, and this is not as fun as you see
right.
on TV.
Were you missing the hot weather?
Absolutely. But because of my mommy, she told me to go to college and graduate, so I stuck it out for 4 years.
There you go.
Played basketball for 2 of those years with that college, and then Yeah, I got my bachelor's degree in marketing.
Okay.
And that was honestly just a random major because
Really?
my mom told me to go to college and graduate. So
Yeah,
that's
you're
what
like,
I
I
did.
guess I'll do
Yeah,
that,
that's
you know?
what I did.
Yeah.
So, and then, like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do
Yeah.
or what I wanted to be growing up. So, that led to me going back home in Bakersfield for a little bit, and then I sat down and said, "What is my passion? What do I really like?"
Yeah.
And that's sports, being active, being healthy, excluding chocolate because I eat chocolate all the time. But
I saw that on your bio.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
But and then that led to me deciding to become an athletic director, and I felt like that would be the perfect job for me because I love sports. Yeah, I love sports, and if I can't play sports, then I would love to like organize sports, put sports together.
I still be in that mix.
Still be there. Go to any game I want at any given time, so on and so forth. So I went to Cal State, California Baptist University in Riverside to get my master's degree in sport management, kinesiology, and then I interned at UC Riverside, so like Division I athletics, and like that was a great experience. But they told me as soon as I got it that there's no job for you after this because the California budget and all that stuff. So I was back at square one. So now I have a master's degree and I'm back at square one, student loans and everything.
Oh wow.
So after that, a friend of mine, and I'm now I found myself back in Bakersfield for the third time.
Okay. Hey, Bakersfield was just calling your name, you know?
Right. Yeah. But I was stubborn and not trying to have that name be called. So a friend of mine got a job. I guess he was working at AT&T, and he had training out here in LA. And they put him in a hotel and all that stuff. So I said, hey, I'm going to go with you and then stay in a free hotel. And while you're doing your training, I'm going to look for jobs in LA because that's a bigger city. That's a bigger, so to me, that's like a free experience to do that.
Bigger market.
Yeah, way bigger market. And then Target had a mass hire. So the Target, downtown Los Angeles city Target, they had a mass hire, and 13 interviews later, I got hired as a manager.
Oh, wow.
Logistics manager.
How many years ago is this?
This was in 2012.
Wow.
Yeah, so
all
this
right.
is in
All right.
2012.
Yeah.
So I found a Craigslist apartment. I was living with
like
5 random people.
Just decided, let me just try something new, completely, huh?
Save my money, and then I found myself in LA. So, since 2012, I've been in big box retail as managers. I've opened 2 Targets, one in downtown Los Angeles, and then the other was in Westlake Village.
Okay.
And then after that, I was pretty much being overworked, and that's what we kind of talked about. I was like overworked. So I said, why am I here? I need to find something better. But since I was pretty good at being a leader in retail, I went to a smaller company, which is CVS Pharmacy, still big, but smaller than Target. And then I quickly became a store manager. Every year I got promoted to a different level, and that's because I'm just naturally a hard worker. And then the same thing happened. It was like, why am I
back to that square one in a way?
Back to square one in a way. And then my wife and I decided that if I naturally work as hard, she gets the daily stories of what's going on. And
that inside scoop,
and I'm not seeing enough payoff with it, then I might as well have my own business.
Yes.
So that's what led me to decide to open up my own business. And then it was just a matter of what business do I open?
Yeah, right? Yeah. And I remember talking about that with you. And, so now that you have, Robeks, I mean, first of all, tell us about like that, because I mean, it is, a company, a small company that's based out of here actually, right?
Yeah,
California, Southern Cali. But not only that, like, it also coincides with like your own kind of like, personal health journey as well. So, you're committed to this, not because you just want to own like this business, but really like you put a lot of thought and effort into it. But tell us a little bit about that, like the Robeks, I guess, mission, vision that kind of aligns with your own as well.
Absolutely. Well, Robeks is, I had about 5 different options based off of the budget But Robeks was by far, to me, the best option because, like you said, it started in Los Angeles in 1996. They started franchising out in 2000, so it's been around.
Yeah.
They just haven't been able to like market how they should. But the company it's a smoothie and juice shop, but it's 100% healthy. So like you think other competitors out there, but those aren't as healthy. If you see our stuff, we have real fruits, real vegetables. All of our juices are 100% juice, nothing from like concentrate, no artificial flavors and all that
Hey, I've
stuff.
seen you cut some of those natural fruits there, you know. I saw you working.
Yeah.
I saw you working when
Yeah,
I got a chance to go, you know, on the other side of the counter, you know.
Yeah, so it's wonderful to be working with a place that you know that the output is you're putting healthy stuff out there and you're not just, you know, being, you know, the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I could have opened a Cold Stone Creamery.
Yeah, right?
But I would eat all the
You
product.
you would eat the product,
it would be
right?
all bad, but that led me to the city of San Fernando.
Yeah.
Because I actually had my contract with the Robeks prior to the pandemic. And then, you know, when we heard rumblings of the pandemic, we kind of put a hold to it. And then in the meantime, so I had about 2 years of just looking for the right location. And then I stumbled upon the city of San Fernando, and I saw that there's nothing that's like truly healthy in the city of San Fernando. That's, you know, a brick and mortar location.
Yeah.
And luckily, I found the right location. I feel like I found the right location.
Yeah.
And that's on Foothill Boulevard in the Home Depot Shopping Center.
Hey, there it is.
Right. Where there's also going to be an upcoming Target.
Hey, talk about like a little bit of a full circle there.
Right.
You know,
so
at that. You know?
Yeah, so it's actually crazy because I used to work at Home Depot as well.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So now you're in between.
Did you work
You're
at
literally
Starbucks
in
and
between.
McDonald's?
Right. So I used to work
reals,
at home in Denver. I worked at Home Depot for about 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It was 3 weeks because it was the winter time. I was trying to find a job like outside of basketball.
Okay.
To make a little cash. They put me in the outside garden department.
Oh, wow. During the winter time.
This is in the winter time in the snow. And
You're like, let's put the rookie there.
Yeah, and I was a little smaller than I am now, so I'm like, everything's like all these bricks and stuff out there. This is not for me.
No.
So I said, hey, can you like help me out and put me somewhere else? So and then they put me in the paint department, and I was scrawny at the time,
You
same
had to carry
height,
all
just
those
like
buckets?
50 pounds
All those
lighter.
buckets?
Yeah, so now I'm like, oh my goodness, this
Yeah.
is not for me. And then they put me in the lumber department with like this heavy sheet metal. I said, this is not for me. I can't do this.
Yeah.
If this is
Yeah.
how it's gonna be, I can't do it.
So after your first week, you put your 2 week notices with
You're
on
like,
her.
work smarter,
Pretty
not
much.
harder.
Yeah, I was like, this is not for me. This is crazy.
Right?
But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
the only thing our shopping center is missing is my favorite job of all time, and that's Blockbuster Video.
Oh, Blockbuster, bring it back.
Yeah. So if we
Oh
have
my
Blockbuster
God.
Video, then that would be a full
I don't know if you know, you remember this, Dios, you're not that era, but like of like, you know, it was kind of like that was part of like date night, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
It's like going out
I
and,
remember
you know.
being a very small child going to Blockbuster. I do remember doing that.
Probably
And
on
I
Friday
didn't-
nights.
I didn't really do much of that, you know,
Yeah.
because my parents couldn't afford much of that
Oh, yeah.
but we did go a couple of times, and you know,
Yeah.
it was
So that's all we need, I guess. You know, we
Right.
might need to do a Blockbuster pop up over there. You know,
Probably. That would be amazing.
Just to seal the deal on the full circle. But yeah, but it's so like, you know, so now you're you know, you've been open for business. You actually opened officially as it was at the beginning of this year, right?
Yeah, mid-February, February 18th.
So it hasn't even been a year yet, but like just tell us how's it going right now? You know, like just just like how is it like to have your spot now? You know.
It's great to be solidified here, but we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Our shopping center currently doesn't have foot traffic, and it looks like we're closed on certain days and certain weeks because of the construction of Target, but we're open every day from 7 to 7.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of getting people to come try us.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always all the events that I can be at. I'm always at the outdoor market handing out free smoothie coupons. I'm always.
Which, by the way, we have some here. We,
Right.
we try to give these out to our guests too. But yes.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah,
so Sergio, you grew up in Bakersfield.
Yes.
You moved to Denver, then you moved here to LA. What part of LA did you move here to, or where have you been here in LA?
When I moved here, I was in Koreatown.
Okay.
In Koreatown for about 2 months. And that's where I was in the Craigslist apartment with 5 people.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Mid City with my wife now, but then girlfriend. And then when I opened the Westlake Village Target, we moved to the Valley. So that was about 2014.
Okay.
So I've been in the Valley for about 9 years or so. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
That's
And
nice.
that's good. Like you get these perspectives too, from different spots of this, like LA,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what I see, I just met you today. But what I see what is inspiring to me is I love when we see community kind of using these like transferable skills.
Yeah.
And kind of picking things up and moving it to their next job and their next job.
Absolutely.
And it seems like you've brought up your mom a couple of times here already.
I love my mommy.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom.
So I mean, you have these like grassroots. What is it?
Like I guess just connections, really.
Connections.
Yeah,
I think that's why you've been so successful is because you have this like ethic and you've transferred all of those things that you've learned, I think, from childhood, which is like the way you present yourself when you walk in here. You're dressed very, very nicely.
Yeah, we're on radio. I mean, we will put this on video, but Sergio right here, he got the blue shirt on, the tie.
Look good, feel good.
You're here showing up, and I think that a lot of people can learn, from that, and we needed more people to show up, so I think it's beautiful that you're so passionate and you're so your wife was so like a vital part of you leaving the corporate structure and coming into being a business owner and all of that. I think that it was a family move from what you're saying, and I'm looking forward to seeing you grow and becoming a vital part of the San Fernando Valley.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate that.
And big shout out. I got a chance to meet your wife yesterday too. Yeah. It was really nice to see you guys chasing the little one around, in the bike. That was beautiful. So
that was great because I actually taught him to ride a bike about 3 weeks ago. And, no training.
Perfect timing right there.
Yeah, I just put the pads and the helmet on him, and I said, "We're going to learn how to ride a bike. Let's do this." And then he picked it up probably about 3 sessions later, so beautiful. Probably like a total of like 3-4 hours.
Nice.
And he loves it. So when I told him, we're gonna ride the bike, he was confused of why the bike was in the car and why we were like driving somewhere. And then
he wasn't used to that.
But once when he went out and saw like everyone else on scooters and bikes and the police officers on their huge bikes, like he loved it. That was like a light of my life.
Right.
That was like a highlight.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was great. I mean, just events like that in general. It's just like, again, going back to like the mission of just like why you decided to go with Robeks too. It's like just this idea of like healthy living in general, right? Absolutely. And being in our communities and like doing stuff like that. Absolutely. It's just all ties in, and we need that, And Sergio, the other thing I really just want to highlight because it really resonated actually with me when we talked about this, but it was this idea, so it's like Robeks is, it's a franchise. It's they're small like compared to others, but nevertheless, they're a franchise. But end of the day, you're a small business owner, right? And it is literally like Sergio Washington right here, and like running it. And so, it's again, like I just wanted to highlight that because end of the day, you're putting in like a lot of the work, just because of the structure of what it is, and I think sometimes folks might not always realize that,
right?
And it's like, I think just because it doesn't say Sergio Washington's, like, but
Sergio
nevertheless,
smoothies.
Exactly.
I thought about it.
But nevertheless, it is Sergio smoothies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The only thing Robeks pretty much does is they make sure that we're on brand, meaning like we're continuing to use fresh juices and fresh, vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, to make sure that the name Robeks is still up there. That's pretty much the only thing they do. Everything else is pretty much blood, sweat, and tears on my part.
Right.
Me and my wonderful team, I should say.
Yes,
because I love my team, and we've been grooming, and we've been hitting the ground hard, and just trying to make sure that we're doing the best we can for the community.
Yes, no, absolutely.
That's beautiful.
And speaking of that, just tell us then some of because it's not, by the way, it's not just juices, and smoothies, because that menu is ever expansive, actually.
Yes.
But tell us about some of the other stuff. Again, we're gonna have some highlight reels that we're almost done and getting ready to release. But nevertheless, tell us a little bit about some of the other items that are not juice or smoothie related. Come on now, Sergio.
Thank you so much for asking that question, because everyone knows us for juices or smoothies, but we have, and I'm actually really proud of our toasts. So we have 7 different toasts.
Okay, now
3 of them are avocado toast, but they're completely different tasting avocado toast. So if you have one, you definitely need to try the other 2.
There you go.
We pack on. I don't know if you've had an avocado toast at Robeks, but we pack it on, so it's not like we smear it on. And you just get no, you get about 1 to 1.5 avocados on that toast.
There you go.
We have like fig and prosciutto toast, strawberry cream cheese, peanut butter banana with chia seeds, and surprisingly my favorite. It was the everything avocado, but now it's the veggie and hummus.
Oh, the
toast.
veggie one. Okay.
Surprisingly, and
veggie
I don't even
hummus.
like hummus like that.
Now,
but it's the balance of the flavors that you get on that.
Okay. Now,
and then we have acai bowls as well. So we have probably 6 or 7 different types of bowls as well, and that's actually what was the final nail in me wanting to open up a Robeks, and that was the nutty acai bowl.
Okay, now. So that's the one that did it for you. Sealed the deal.
Absolutely, it did. Because when I was working at CVS Pharmacy as a store manager, I was always on my feet, always running around, and I never really take breaks naturally. I just
if
I sit
You're
down,
on the move.
then I'm going to be lazy for the next 2 hours. So I need to stay up and on the go. So I would DoorDash the nutty acai bowl, and I would have them blend it into a smoothie.
Okay.
So I would walk around CVS Pharmacy, not knowing that I was going to own a Robeks like 3-4 years
It was
later.
like training by osmosis. You didn't even know.
I'm just like walking around with my nutty acai bowl in a smoothie, and it got me hooked.
Nice.
That was kind of the final nail in the coffin of,
That's awesome.
I need to go ahead and
I'm doing this.
Yeah,
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
Absolutely.
You were fueled by it.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Before you even knew you were gonna have one.
Exactly. No, that's again, and it's your locations right here, and then also on Instagram, you guys go by More Than Juices, right?
Yes, morethanjuice.sf. As in San Fernando.
Go.
So morethanjuice.sf.
Cool. And then we'll put some of that information up there as well. And, it's just been a pleasure to have you here, Sergio Washington, Robeks, San Fernando owner. And yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have one more thing.
Yes, please do.
So, shout out to the community, anyone who's listening to this. But we do fundraisers. Every Friday. We do fundraiser Fridays. And I'm looking for... Really, there's no criteria. So anyone who, like, if you're a parent and you have a child, like my mom, if you're a parent, you have a child that's like on a sports team and they need help raising money, or if you're an organization, you need help raising money, like we do that for free for you guys. Nice. If you're a nonprofit organization, shout out to Eyes of a Mother. They've been our most consistent fundraiser Friday organization from the very beginning when we started it. But yeah, if you're anyone who needs to raise money, reach out to me via Instagram.
All right, there it is.
Or just come into the store and talk to me. And like I said, every Friday, 15% of sales go back to your organization.
Yeah.
So we're
awesome.
like I said, we're just out here for the community. We want that balance.
Yeah, thank you for that. Right? I think that a lot of our listeners could take advantage of that offer.
Yeah,
and it's free. Again, it's free. So
exactly, it's free, and it's and it's a healthy. Choice fundraiser. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I love that. Thank you so much for that as well. And before we let you go then for today, what are some words of wisdom you want to leave the listening audience with?
Words of wisdom. I would say learn from mistakes. Learn from not just your own mistakes, but other people's mistakes, your friends' mistakes, your parents' mistakes, anyone who complains. Like, listen to not only the complaint, but like what they're complaining about and the moves of what they did, and then try to not mimic that. And also just put yourself out there. Like I said, like when I went to Denver as an 18-year-old, there's no family out there in Denver. I just went and did it to see what would happen. And like, that's pretty much been my life up until this point, is put yourself out there and then hope for the best.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So once again, y'all, we've had right here in the mix, live in the studio here with us, Sergio Washington, Sergio Washington, Robeks San Fernando owner. We wish you the best, and we'll once in a while catch us there, y'all, because I know some of the treats that I like and I'll be having. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick musical break, y'all, and we'll be right back.
Thank you for having me.
We got